Lincoln Yards promises to transform the Chicago's riverfront. Hi there, this is Gabby with Nex-Gen Real Estate and Property Management, serving Chicagoland in selling, buying, and managing properties. And if you enjoy content like this, please let me know by subscribing and hitting that like button. As always, you can find a link below to schedule a free consultation with me. Today, I will discuss Lincoln Yards, one of the biggest and most exciting real estate developments in Chicago. Located at the heart of Chicago's north side, along the north branch of the Chicago River. This is a $6 billion mixed-use community under the helm of developer Sterling Bay. This will revitalize the riverfront between Bucktown, Wicker Park, and Lincoln Park. The project will include up to 14 million square feet of the new commercial and residential construction, including up to 6,000 residential units with a 20% affordability requirements, 21 acres of public open spaces, multiple infrastructures and transportation improvements, and more than $120 million in development fees. So now let's dig deeper into the Lincoln Yards mega development project. Lincoln Yards is one of Chicago's most ambitious and contentious real estate projects in decades. New skyscrapers, roads, and bridges and parkland would be part of the $6 billion 55-acre project. Wait until the very end to see the 2022 updates on this progress. Projects within Lincoln Yards. Lincoln Yards is going to be a community that will offer new economic opportunities, new transportation options, new environmental benefits for Chicagoans to enjoy. Here are the different components of the Lincoln Yards development plan. A award-winning engineering project with V3. V3 is the principal environment and infrastructure design firm for the Lincoln Yards redevelopment. Throughout the property, V3 used a site preparation method for environmental remediation, stormwater management, and foundation, recycling, earthwork management. This method sped up the process by allowing work to be completed concurrently with the entire entitlement process. It also saved money by merging remediation and development activities, which removed the need for double handling of demolition and earthwork materials. Lincoln Yards received the ACEC Illinois 2021 Engineering Excellence Special Achievement Award for the Sustainable Engineering Design. The Steelyard Sterling Bay envisions the Steelyard as a meeting space for locals and visitors alike, bringing them together to meet, play, celebrate, and develop. This is a mixed-use commerce and entertainment zone on the project's southern half, north of West Concord Place, which will be extended east with a new bridge across the river. This will include a 19-story, 350-unit residential building, a 15-story commercial building, and a market hall. Steelyard Main Street visitors will be able to walk through to the river in the pedestrian-oriented location, flanked with multi-use spaces and an internal network of smaller-scale laneways, creating a dynamic urban zone just south of the development's new main park. To the east, the Chicago River will serve as a bookend for the laneway, with a future water taxi station and upgraded riverwalk. The height of the buildings in the area will vary, but most will be around 130 feet tall. Those who drive will have easy access to the majority of the project's proposed shared parking structures just west of the site along the expressway, which will help alleviate traffic congestion. Ally at 1229 West Concord. Ally at 229 West Concord is a 280,000 square foot development along the north branch of the Chicago River that will give much needed lab space to Chicago's fast developing life science community. This gives full support with a unique combination of wellness-driven design, state-of-the-art R&D facilities, collaborative workspaces, and powerful amenities. It includes Class A medical research lab space, conference and creative office space. Tenants will also have access to flexible floor plates, private balconies, and ceiling spans of 15 feet. Integrated amenities and building features include a double-height lobby, a fitness and wealth center, a tenant lounge, an event space with a stage and pre-function bar, as well as a conference center with an attached lounge. There is also the step terrace area with lounge sitting, next to which will be a new stretch of riverwalk measuring 128 feet. The people can take advantage of the 55 spaces of parking in an underground garage that is accessible from Concord. 1685 North Throop. The new Steelyard's initial structure will be a mixed-use mid-rise connected to the current road on the district's west end. The 11-story, 365,000 square foot structure floor will provide the Steelyard's only available office space, with floor sizes ranging from 28,000 to 35,000 square feet, following the post-COVID trend of smaller floors. All levels will have great ceiling heights and massive curtain walls, windows with views of cityscape and river. The Marketplace Retail, or the Market Hall. Also known as Market Hall, the Marketplace will be connected at grade level to parcel D1. With a design similar to older retail buildings, the 3-level building will feature basement-level back-of-house spaces, a marketplace-level retail space and entry, and 2 raised park-level retail spaces with nearly a combined 10,000 square feet of commercial space, public restrooms. This building will be expected to open in 2024. Lincoln Yards includes a massive park, mostly built at an elevated level above a large shared parking garage. The park will feature a connection to the 606 gardens, hard sports courts, artificial turf fields, bocce deck, dog runs, playgrounds, floating wetlands, a water taxi stop, a small boathouse with kayak storage, a concession space and restrooms, as well as a boat launch to the river. Life Sciences building at 2430 Halsted Street. Prism Life Science, a new life sciences venture sponsored by the Lincoln Yards Development, intends to serve as a catalyst for a sustainable and scalable life science community in the Lincoln Park neighborhood. Prism Life Science will be located at 2430 North Halsted Street, a 5-story medical research building with over 120 square feet of lab and office space. In the near future, the area will be used by biopharma, medtech, diagnostics, and life science instrument firms, and will comprise flexible shared wet lab and workspace, lab ponds, and private suites. Transportation improvements. The transportation infrastructure at Lincoln Yards has been deliberately designed to encourage the use of bikeways, pedestrian pathways, and public transportation as much as possible. Simultaneously, smart urban technologies will be implemented to manage traffic and parking demands. Fleet Fields. Fleet Fields at Lincoln Yards is a public recreational area with 3 public fields open to the public for both free and league play. The fields are the first in a series of initiatives by the Lincoln Yards team to bring Chicagoans together and offer open space for all. Meanwhile at Lincoln Yards is a new community activation space featuring sports, arts, and entertainment programming to preview new sights, sounds, and experiences being considered for Lincoln Yards in the future. Located at Ada Street and Concord Place, adjacent to Fleet Fields, Meanwhile at Lincoln Yards offers 3 new basketball courts called Alley Oops, an open harmony zone for artistic performances and film screenings, and a designated area featuring a rotation collection of local foods, beverages, and small shops operators. But as my fiduciary duty, I will also show you the continuous issues that haunt Lincoln Yards. Think of it as the cons to the earlier pros of the project. However, as much as it has so much potential to improve and grow Chicago's North Branch corridor, Lincoln Yards still faces many controversies. Music venues oppose the project surrounding the Hideout, Chicago's indie music venue, formed CIVL, a coalition to fight the planned construction around the Hideout. Robert Gomez of Subterranean and Beat Kitchen, Katie Tooten of The Hideout, and others are concerned about how their businesses will fare if a massive new facility owned by Live Nation opens. Due to this pushback from CIVL, Sterling Bay scrapped the Environment District and proposed soccer stadium. Instead, there would be restaurants, theaters, and small music venues, and Live Nation will have no ownership over these places. Lincoln Yard feels homogenizing. Another crucial concern about Lincoln Yards is the fear of gentrification and homogenization. The mega development has a unified feel to it, and this makes some Chicagoans uncomfortable because it could kill the diversity that makes Chicago vibrant. Like other mega developments in Chicago, the Chicago city government and locals clamored for affordable housing. Previously, off-site affordable units within 3 miles have been reduced from 600 to 300. According to Sterling Bay executives, they would build around 1,000 affordable apartments citywide and provide 15 years of rental subsidies for 130 very low-income households. A particular investor is another issue that added fuel to the fire of dissent against Lincoln Yards. Lone Star Funds, a $60 billion Dallas-based private equity firm, specializing in acquired troubled mortgages and has been chastised for predatory lending and wrongfully evicting families, they are one of the principal two investors in Lincoln Yards. Regardless of these issues, Sterling Bay has pushed through with the Lincoln Yards, constructing it in multiple phases starting last year. Progress in 2022 Lincoln Yards is running full steam ahead in the development. There have been many milestones that this development has reached, especially in 2022. In particular, here are the recent updates to this ongoing real estate development. Last January 2022, Sterling Bay presented to the Chicago Plan Commission and the public the update on plans to construct a new publicly accessible 6-acre park, a new 15-story office and retail building, a new 19-story mixed-use residential building on parcels B1, C1, and D1. On March 14, 2022, WD3 Associates, a Chicago area Black-owned concrete supplier, completed its work as a subcontractor on the LI at 1229 West Concord. The company's $2.5 million contract is part of Sterling Bay's award of up to $38 million in contracts to local and minority-owned companies to work on Lincoln Yards. On April 4th, 2022, Sterling Bay and Harrison Street celebrate the structural completion of the LI at 2029 West Concord Place. The building is expecting to open to tenants in the last quarter of 2022. The riverfront area of the Lincoln Yards site has been completely cleaned up in April 2022. Sterling Bay spent $10 million cleaning the site, including major undertakings like recycling 69,000 tons of concrete, heating and cleaning more than 27,000 tons of impacted soil, and removing 36 underground tanks filled with toxic waste. This was an extensive remediation project for the Lincoln Yards development. After 5 years of this environmental preservation work, the site is now safe for community use. General Iron's owner wanted to return the junked car and metal shredded business to Lincoln Park, where it operated for decades before shutting down at the end of 2020. But in April this year, city officials formally rejected the plan, submitted through 3 permit applications in February. The rejection came from the widespread opposition from the community about General Iron's pollution and foul odors. The city has continuously petitioned for the General Iron old site to be integrated into Lincoln Yards development like the Finkel Steel Factory. The Lincoln Yard mega development is now under longtime critic Alderman Scott Wagenspec of the 32nd Ward. The Chicago Independent Venue League and other watchdogs support this because they believe that Alderman Wagenspec will keep the community's interest front and center as Lincoln Yard moves forward. The Steelyard will break ground this summer 2022 after it has been approved by Chicago Plan Commission, and construction is expected to end within 2 years of the start date. Sterling Bay's Lincoln Yards project is a sustainable and intensive transformative development of brownfields into greenfields and neighborhood amenities. They blend sustainable engineering and masterful community planning to generate greater opportunity and growth in Chicago. It's anticipated to have a huge impact on the economy, creating 23,000 on-site jobs and generating $38.4 million annually in net revenue to the city, and also increase the supply of affordable housing in the Chicago metropolitan area. So what do you think about Lincoln Yards? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, where's your future?